So this is going to be the homework for the strategies class going over perpendicular and parallel lines. So here we have the first question is asking for us to find the slope of each line. And so we know immediately that this is going to be a positive slope because it increases as we go from left to right. And so we can go ahead and see that we are going to rise to. Since we know that slope is rise over run, we are going to rise to and run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in this situation right here, again, slope being rise over run, we come to our point, we go up 2, we're rising 2, and then we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be the slope of number 1 and number 2. Now in this case right here, we're looking for the slope between 2 points. So again, the slope between 2 points is labeled as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so our y2, let's go ahead and label these here real quickly. This is our x1, our y1, our x2, and our y2. Okay, so the slope is y2, which is negative 19, minus what we have for x1, which is 4, over x2, which is 2. I'm sorry, timeout, redo. Hope you all caught that mistake there. So we are actually doing y2, which is negative 19, minus what we have for y1, which is negative 18, over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 4. So when we remember, we have negative, if we have a negative times a negative, which is a positive, so we have a negative 19 plus 18 over 2 minus 4. Negative 19 plus 18 is negative 1. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. And when we divide a negative by a negative, we get positives. Cancel each other out. Okay? So here, again, when we have our slope, we're going to have x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have y2, which is 20, minus y1, which is 15, over x2, which is negative 12, minus a negative 12. Okay, so this is going to give us 5 over negative times negative is a positive, so we have negative 12 plus 12, which is going to be 5 over 0. And because we cannot have a 0 in the denominator, our slope is undefined. Okay. So here we have 17 and 3 and 11 and 2, or negative 2. So our slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. 11 minus 17 is negative 6. Negatives and negatives cancel out. And so we have 5 over 6. And the last one we have y2, which is 1, minus y1, which is negative 5, over negative 11, minus 8, minus a negative 8. So again, negative times negative is a positive, so we get a 1 plus 5, over negative 11 minus a negative 8, which is negative 11 plus 8. So we get 6 over negative 3, which is going to equal negative 2. Okay. So here, all of these equations are in slope-intercept form. Okay, where m is our slope. Okay, so in this case, we can identify immediately that our slope is 8. Our slope here is a negative 1. Our slope here is negative 5/3. And our slope here is 1/4. Not bad, right? So we're going to find the slope of a line parallel to each given line. Okay? So if I'm given this line right here, and I'm going to tell you what the slope of a line that's parallel to this is, well, parallel lines means that it has to have the same slope. So any line that is parallel to this has to have a slope of 1. Any line parallel to this has to have a slope of negative 7/3. Any line parallel to this has to have a slope of 2/5. And likewise here, it has to have a slope of negative 1. Alright, and so the last one, we're going to find the slope of a line perpendicular to the given line. Okay, so if our given line, if our slope is equal to 2, well, we know that any line that is perpendicular to it has to have a slope where we take the reciprocal of this and change the sign. So the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2, and we'll change the sign from positive to negative. Okay, so our slope here is negative 5. So our perpendicular slope, take the reciprocal of 5, which is 1/5, change the negative to a positive. Alright, the given line here, our slope is negative 1. So that means that our perpendicular slope is going to be the reciprocal of 1 is just 1, and from a negative to a positive. Alright, and so for the last one, our slope is 2. Alright, and so the perpendicular slope, take the reciprocal of 2, 1/2, and change the sign to negative. There you go. There's your homework.